Okay, brain, playback. And my brain goes, how far back do you want to play, Sean? I don't know, brain. Where do you want to take me? Let's take you to when you were 10. Okay, cool, brain. Let's roll from there. So I get to look at some stuff and I watch some stuff. Like, for example, do you remember when I did the Birmingham Symphony Hall?
Yeah.
You couldn't be there.
No.
Because you were away working.
Yes.
Do you regret not being there? That's my point.
Yes.
Yeah, and Dad, yeah. I'm so glad you said that because so many people there that I could feel the gas through their inside. And then I watched you sit there and went, oh, whoa, yeah. Whoa. And, yeah. And I'm going to say something.
Yeah.
I said something to a couple of the guys at church a couple of weeks, and I said, the problem that we have is that we have turned leaders into figures. Mm-hmm. And most people, and it's why, I don't mean this in a horrible way. I don't think Keir Starmer's doing a great job. In fact, I think he's doing a horrendous job. But I can separate the man and the office.
Right.
And there are times when I listen to him talk and I've seen things from him wearing glasses to not wearing glasses, to what they made him do when they thought he was going to be Prime Minister, to when he was just that annoying guy across the bench just saying stuff and sounding like a prosecutor.
Yeah.
And then because I can separate the man and the office, the fallibility of the man gives me more grace for the guy in the office, Dad. Because in him having to execute the job, he's dealing with everything that he is here that I don't get to see. I don't get to hear the conversations with his wife. I don't get to see him talk to his children because he didn't get to their sports day or to that assembly, or he couldn't get to that parents' evening, or he forgot to message whoever about, oh, my mother-in-law's thingy. So in that moment, because the nature of what you do is so intense, it's almost like you can't tell yourself no, because it's like, no, I have to go. Which then means things that, like, now, I'm not going to say this, I'm going to say this the way I'm going to say it, but not how it's going to sound. To a lot of people, they would have sat there and gone, I can't believe he's just said that to his son.
Yeah. That is, yeah.
Wait, Dad. The reason they would have said that is because they don't understand that I understand how you think, right? So they're just taking it based off of what.
Yeah.
And so when I said to you, was it hard or is it hard? It's for those very reasons of a person that is a great father. You can't be a great father and know something's going to matter to your child, not be able to do it, and just be like, oh, well, it's just what it is. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Where I would want to interject
Sure.
is that why it wasn't hard for me, because I felt I facilitate the whole process up until that point. And therefore, the point was the, what's relevant for that? At that point of being at the Symphony Hall was the climax of months and months of working together and planning. Let me just finish what I'm saying here. And so I know I know what you have accomplished. And I just felt that in that moment, that climatic moment, let others enjoy it, because I've already, even though it hadn't happened yet, I'd already enjoyed the fact that you have attained to such a position.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
I completely understand, right? Completely understand. But the other thing that I'm looking at is that I have friends who are fathers. I have friends who are married. I have friends who are in very serious jobs.
Right.
Some of them are in serious jobs with just a partner, some as a single person, some married, some as a family person. The only thing that I would say to you to look at is it the most telling part of the statement you made was at the beginning was that I felt I. Not my son needed or I asked him.
Right.
And the reason I say that is because for most 10-year-olds, they don't know what they're thinking. I'm not dad. Does that make sense?
Oh, yes.
And then you almost substitute yourself. So if we're running a marathon, like a 10,000 marathon,
Right.
like 10,000, no, how long are marathons roughly? Let's say 20 miles.
Yeah.
Then in essence, even though I understood what you did, because I've always got that, and I didn't mind, but the basis of it, Dad, and it's the thing that I'd kind of want to help people watching, and even in a way, if I can lean, and I think you've taught us this in terms of how you are with us now, that very few people want one person to run 19 and a half miles with them, get into the stadium, and have a whole bunch of people who they'd see maybe at some point in the week to, they're like, oh yeah, how's it going? Is it all right? Yeah. But they're not running out there with you. They're not watching you get better times. And that person, I can understand if they've gone, right, I want these people here when I get into the stadium and I go across the line. And you think you know what's going to happen. And then you go, what? Does that make sense?
Yes, it does. It does, and yes, I can understand how you would see, and
But Dad, I think it's bigger than just how I would see it, because in a way, I'm the person that has to get on that stage. I'm the person that has to stand in front of that camera. I'm the person that has to leave his home before to sleep. And at that time at 10, I mean, it was normal for me to go to another city with, Debbie Raines was like family to me, right? So she was closer than a guardian, like completely trust this person. But yet when I look back now at what I was doing at 10, I would let my child do it for sure, because obviously you'd have to exhibit a certain level of talent and understanding and consciousness and stuff. But in terms of some of the, how would I put it? Some of the wider logistics.
right.
I don't know if I would have.
No, you wouldn't have a choice. As parents, we didn't have a choice. Listen to me. We were told how it's going to be.
No, I understand that. But the reality is that even if a person's telling you how it's going to be, when you are the custodian of something, then that, I think, in a certain sense, will give you a certain level, like a power of attorney to be like, no, I understand this is what you think is going to happen, but if you want this to happen with this, which I'm invariably in control of, this is the version of events. Like, and the reason I say that is because I felt that's how I am with you now.
Right.
There are times where we'll knock heads because you're like, Sean, I'm going to do this. I'm like, no, you're not. And you were like, first of all, I don't know who you're talking to, because you don't pay no bills in my house or do thingy. And then I will sit down and I'll give you the dossier of the whole thing. And then when we get down to it, the thing you really didn't like a lot of time was how I said it. And because you're just like, who are you talking to? But then when you look at the information, you're like, okay, cool, I'll think about it. And then, but that's your way of sitting there and going, okay, yeah, you're right. Let me just figure out what it is I need to say back to you for this, to us to find a compromise in the middle ground. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
And the reason I say that is because you're so gifted and talented that it's a bit like the tap, Dad. Most people don't want to turn it off just in case the water starts running cold. Or that the pipe doesn't freeze, or that. And when you have a person that has the proclivity to always give more, then the need to, and I do this all the time, to protect you from yourself. Not in a negative way, because Dad, most people run away from the war. You see, you, even if all you got was a couple whittled down sharp sticks, you do that, and then you're like, yeah. And that's not most people's proclivity. And I think and I feel because you're so committed, and you are called Dad. I've watched you do things that I don't really want to say on camera because it would scare people, Dad. Scare people. No, scare people. I understand the capacity and the power that you hold. And something that is so... When you have something that big, people don't understand the payments on the back end.
Indeed.
Does that make sense?
Of course.
And it's why you can go through a situation, like you said in the last episode, you can lose everything, but still know, but I'm on firm foundation. So because I'm on firm foundation, building this again is not going to be hard.
Yeah.
But that's the average person. It's a bit like,
Yeah.
and even in the last conversation we had, like the build a bridge, not the last conversation, sorry, the last episode that went out, I think it was episode 7. This is an amazing bridge that we've built, because there are pieces of information that I know you've heard that link into not only understanding in time past, but restoring in time present to really thrive in what's to come.
Yeah.
And the other thing I want to say is this, that there's no part of me that feels like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you didn't do that. Da, 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 da. There is a part where I wish you'd been there just because of how big it was. And Dad, you know me, as a kid, I didn't really get fazed by stuff.
Yeah.
But there was a moment where I even looked around and I was like, oh my word. Oh my word. And just in those moments, it's just like, how do I put this? You know Venus and Serena?
Yes.
One of the things I liked, but it made me laugh about their dad was that it's almost like he'd never watched the final. He'd watch everything up to it, and then sometimes he'd just be in Wimbledon walking around and doing stuff. But it was the case of, I can understand why he got to the place where it's just like, I won. Do you understand what I'm saying? That because he's already seen it, and it's something that we say to each other a lot, that we live a lot of moments in advance.
Absolutely.
So that when everybody else is kind of, oh my gosh, we kind of keep a steady, stable head.
You're moved on.
But I will say this. I also think there is a space where there are things we have to experience in real time. And I think as we get greater understanding, leaning into the revelation of what wisdom has taught us.
Right.
I don't know, it might be more fruitful.
You know, the interesting thing...
Can I finish saying that last bit of my sentence?
Yes, I mean, it's beautiful.
How can you know it's beautiful if I haven't finished it?
Okay, let me let you finish.
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Having the wisdom of that moment may lean us into better decisions later on. Feel free to now utter...
No, that's nicely put.
Thank you.
That's nicely put.
Good thing I wanted to get it out.
Yes.
I thought so.
Another credit to your...
This isn't about credit. This is just honest conversation. Because no, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Now, one of the things that impacts a lot of people without them knowing it is excessive love.
Right.
You see, excessive love. Now, they are parents, and in some kind of a strange way, you connect with people on different level. And when I said people, I mean it cut across all boundaries.
Yeah.
And you would love somebody excessively.
Okay.
Now, they may not know that you love them excessively, but you do. And there are things that governs how you react and what you permit to happen because of the excess of the love that you have for them.
Okay.
And
I'm really hoping you're going to speak plainly in a minute, because I love in this philosophical version of it, but I cannot follow. But I'm hoping you're going to tell me, this is what I'm saying.
all right, you take, for instance, a lot of, let's call it rich kids.
Yeah.
And their parents would give them everything they want.
Right.
And they think, okay, then my parents are doing it because I am their child. But in a lot of cases, not because they're your child, it's because of how much they love them.
Okay.
And even some would be excessive. And they not get away, but the parents expresses that love to them. Even if it means things may seem to others wrong, by what the parents does. But if you're going to benefit the child that they love or the children that they love, they don't mind suffering whatever it takes for that child to get the benefit of that love. And
Dad, what on earth are you saying?
yes, if you listen, you'll get to it. Yeah. You can't explain everything to people that you go through emotionally.
Okay.
But the root of some of these emotions is love. You love someone. And when you love someone, you want the best for them,
Right.
even at your expense.
Okay.
See, and parents does that at times.
Right.
They will do things. Some parents, of course, will do that and go to extreme, even if it means them losing out on what would seem normal
Right.
to them. And the children may not even appreciate it at that time because they are limited in terms of understanding why certain things would happen and how it would happen. See? But the root of it is they love it, the extent of the love that they have for their children.
Right.
And this is where you remember when we spoke some episode ago, we talk about when you said, okay, how does a child and their parents bridge some of these gaps? And I said that the first thing is apologizing. Remember I said that?
Yeah. I'm just really nervous.
Why?
Because I don't even know if I can save you from where you're going. So I'm just like, Lord,
No,
I can see the ground coming towards the thing.
Yeah,
and I'm like, the reason why I say that is because I know I'm going to ask you questions based off of what you're saying. So I'm just like, I'm leaving it as long as I can, so that when I'm praying that there's some revelation is going to come up. Bang, I'm like, oh, thank you, God, he landed the plane.
Now, so the first thing when you said about apologies is therefore and the parents have said that the parents would then look at that person as a child and accept or bridge the gap for them to communicate effectively. Because why? That person may not understand why the parents did the things they did for them to be upset with. Because there are a lot of kids who are upset with their parents.
Right.
And they themselves don't even quite sure why they're upset with their parents. And the parents don't feel they have the opportunity to say to them, why are you mad with me? And a lot of children would come up with their notion of why they are upset with their parents. You know what I mean? But then how do they bridge the gap to get back to it? You know what I mean? So I'm saying now, it is because oftentimes the love from the parents sometimes manifests itself, or it demonstrates in a way by which the children may not understand the motive and objective behind why the parent does the things they do.
Okay.
I hope you get some sense from that. If not today, it will come next time.
No, I do get sense, because I think, as I said in the last episode, perception tells me how you see it, perspective tells a person how you saw it. I think you have to get to a certain place of acceptance and maturity within yourself to look at And I think one of the big things that even came out from the conversation we had about building bridges was that compromise is better than apology, because I know a lot of people that apologize and don't mean it.
That's right.
So that what they end up doing is just plastering over the situation. And then as the wearing environmentally of emotions and situations and life happens, that plaster, it wears and wears and wears.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, we're back at ground zero with a crack. Now, when I compromise and I communicate that, and I add grace to compromise and communication, then it allows me to validate how I feel.
Indeed.
Not oversubscribe to it, because feeling is variable.
Very true.
Information is absolute. Do I know you love me? 100%. Do I know that you have sacrificed for me to levels of things that I'd never understand? 100%. Am I okay to be frustrated and to be disappointed that a finish line I had to cross? Do you understand what I'm saying? Because in everything that you did, I made the audition tape, I sang the song, I had to go to the studio, I had to play the stuff, I had to tell them what I didn't want. There's so much of the process that has been left for me to arbitrate, that for me to feel disappointed that I wasn't given the choice to say who crosses the finish line with me, that's something I'm never going to negotiate, because the reality is the same way I can't come and tell you how you should preach a message. Like, you have very strict protocols when you preach and when you go away, right? You're not going to take everybody with you, because ministry means that you're not dealing with me in my natural capacity as L.A. Williams. You're dealing with me in my spiritual capacity. And so person A, person B, person C, you may not feel comfortable with them traveling with you, because you understand that you have to have a certain mindset for this. Irrespective of whether I sat there and I think, oh, no, because I've helped you get to this point, and I think these people should be, you turn to me and you be like, it doesn't go like that, Shean. Right? So I think based on the building a bridge, I understand from the perspective that you had, where you're like, no, my job as a father is to teach my son. I cannot teach him during performance time. So in terms of what I needed to do, I have planted the seed, I've watered that seed, I've shown him how to keep the ground good, I've shown him how to keep himself right, I've shown him, which is completely fine, Dad. And it's beyond and above, probably, for a lot of people that will be sitting here and watching us now. However, where I think you still have the capacity to, and you do it amazingly with the bug fixes you have, to be able to actually go, okay, none of my generation potentially go and either climb over the fence to go and look into that generation, but I still have enough strength. I'm not going to climb over the fence, but I'm going to sit on it. Because sitting on it means I'm going to see just a little bit more. And then you get to look at it wide view and go, okay. Because you're not dealing with a person that doesn't have the capacity to understand, nor the intention or will to look ahead with compassion, but at the same time go, okay, we're not going to agree on everything, but we can definitely meet in a middle space where even the things I don't agree with, I can understand the reasoning behind it, because it did not come from a malicious place or a thingy.
No, I think it's very...
And can I just say something very quickly? I appreciate you so much for the last 15 minutes of this conversation, because as I said in the previous episode, I can see when the clogs are turning. And there was a certain moment where the emergency bunker button was about to be pushed. And no, honestly, that, and you were gonna, I saw you hit the indicator to go left to what I call intransigence alley. And I fully watched you stop yourself, and you went, no, because this is what this is about. It's about he and I sitting uncomfortably in moments publicly, so that people can have these conversations privately.
Of course. And I think what is important through the cog turning, as you presented, is understanding what I've always said is that it doesn't matter how much and what you think within yourself are the reason that you may have within yourself is what the other person feels and think. That is what is important, because you could be sitting here saying, okay, I'm burning up.
Yeah.
And they're saying, no, I'm freezing, which is important. And that is where I see that. So that's why I feel it's important to lend myself as to why am I feeling hot? And yet at the same time, appreciating the fact that you are feeling cold.
Yeah.
Because that is what is happening. And therefore, now having recognized that you're feeling cold, then I'm ready to give you the blanket.
And having recognized that you're feeling hot, I'm ready to give you a cold drink.
You see, and that is what I talk about the love.
But that's the compromise within
Indeed.
the love.
You see, and that's what when you love, when two people love each other, you know what I mean? And I believe that it's a lot in relationship with parents and children, is that the children may not oftentimes appreciate the extent to which the parents,
and don't have the capacity to.
Absolutely.
Oftentimes, I'm now listening to my friends who are parents be like, and sometimes I'm listening to the conversation like, have you gone to your mum and dad and sat there and said, no, because you need to tell me, because if you go and tell your mum and dad, they might have this smug little look on their face like, really?
Yes.
That's happening, is it?
Yes.
And I know, no, and
It's
I know
true.
you.
It is true.
One of the most abiding things that you're looking forward to is when I have children, and one of your grandchildren resembles just a smidgen of what I used to be like, because you'll be looking at me like, how you getting on over there?
Yeah.
Having fun?
Absolutely. And I think the difference with, say, us is that we would see the fun side of it. You know, even though it's a learning curve, you'll still see the fun side. And really is what I believe, that if parties recognize that everyone is in different seeing and feeling things, different perspective, and one appreciate, and just like you said, which you so succinctly said, that I would want to give you the coat to keep you warm, and you want to give me, you see me, the thing to cool you down, to keep you cool. And it is the essence of that love that makes such a difference.
No, I only love you on Mondays and Sundays.
I love you all through the week.
I love you too. That was brilliant.
Wonderful. Yes,
it really was.
Yeah, it was.
And I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
And let me tell you why I'm proud of you, because you are doing things that go against what you've learned. And you sit in a place where there's a lot of people that see you very absolutely.
Indeed.
And when you can lend yourself to that level of vulnerability, you have to have a capacity depth that is incomprehensible in order to be able to be that comfortable. People don't do this, Dad.
No.
And for whatever the reason is, well, actually, I know what the reason is. I believe we're meant to help the world.
Of course. And you have that in your mind, that it's not just a situation where we are talking the way we're talking about. We are ministering to people who are listening and who are going through very, perhaps critical things, and need to know, well, where's the starting point? Right. You know what I mean? This is a starting point for a lot of people, because they have listened, they have observed, they have looked, and they can say, all right, tell you what, based on that, I can approach my issues and try and deal with it, and knowing that perhaps somewhere along the line, as time rolls, I can send in question, I can call in for counseling, I can, and it's open doors and possibilities.
Definitely. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and hanging out. I hope that the residual effects of this conversation will be felt for weeks, months, years. My father said at the beginning, when he was talking about what he was thinking about doing versus what he knew he was supposed to be doing, I think that everybody became very aware that you had lent into the purpose of what your life was supposed to be about. And we just want to finish by saying that your purpose is a thing you do that flows through you for the benefit of others.
Right.
Your purpose is a God-given thing. It's what you do that flows through you, but for the benefit of others. Yeah. Please like, subscribe, and share. Go to the YouTube channel. Also go to my father's socials on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook, which is at
Bishop Linwell Williams.
Is it all of that? Is it all of that? It's not Bishop L.A.
Bishop
Williams?
L.A. Williams, yeah. Either of the two.
No, what's the URL? So when you go at Bishop what? Williams?
Bishop Linwell Williams. Bishop L.A. Williams.
We'll put it on the screen because he can't be trusted because he doesn't even know himself. If I was to ask my dad what's the URL, he'd be like, upper real life? Yeah, Dad, that's what it means. But we thank you. Have a great rest of your day and weekend. It's a bye from me, and
God bless you.
You can't just say bye.
No.
Or blessings.
Blessings. Okay. Yeah.
All right, guys.